And hello and welcome back,
Chicago. All right, let the sky
fall, let the ground rise. It's time to spiral out upwards or downwards. You feel the movement, listen to the sound. That's the sound of the heartbeat, yes, and that's the present here.
again on Full Self Sessions. Tonight, welcoming all 13 and all
Collective consciousness alike to the table, here to create, or actually,
that table's Lou's drum kit.
shout out Lou.
Shout out Lou.
In conversation here with a very special guest. I'm really honored to have an artist of just severe talent, entrepreneur, author, speaker, human behavior expert, designer, artist, and podcaster himself, the owner of E Auto, which that is the only place, ladies and gentlemen, Chicago, the only place I have ever taken my Gucci toaster for the tune-up.
Gucci, water balloons, dropping all over the air. Gucci, water balloons, dropping all over the land.
And musician himself, everyone, Steve Eck.
Oh, thank you for having me. My God, I love that intro. I'm like, man, I want to meet that guy.
Here you are.
And here I am.
Man, such an honor to have you.
I've
been wanting to do this for a minute.
I've been thinking about this for a couple of days, like for a while, but the last couple of days I've really been thinking about it. And it's brought up a lot of, because I thought about how did I get into music. It's brought up a lot of memories, a lot of good, like all good memories, you know. And so, music was always in me.
Yeah.
Always in me. And I couldn't wait to become a musician.
I would love to start, like, what was your first, right off the bat, was your first experience or like,
I have a learning disability.
Okay.
And I went to a Chicago public school, and when you couldn't keep up with the grades, you weren't allowed to take art or music. So the whole class would get up and go to art and music, and I sat there. I was the only kid sitting there. The funny thing is today I'm an artist and a musician, and that's the stuff that I should have been doing.
Yep.
So I sat there, and I had to play music, and I had to be an artist. And I'm like, they won't let me. And I remember I was 12 years old, and I paid $10 for a Les Paul Junior copy guitar.
$10.
$10. And it had a broken E string. This is an important part of the story. It had a broken E string, and it had a case. And I paid $10, and my dad goes, "You're never going to afford an E string or a set of strings, and we're not paying for lessons." And my dad took it to a flea market and sold it on me. And I'm like,
Pops.
man, now nobody in my family played music. Nobody was a musician. They didn't even play records.
What was your dad's hesitancy towards the guitar at that time?
It wasn't a hesitancy. He just thought, here's a way he can make a few bucks. Because I paid $10.
Okay.
He took my guitar and sold it. Like he had $20 in his pocket.
Gotcha.
Like that was his motivation.
That he was against guitar.
Well, no,
music.
he was all for getting $20.
Okay, gotcha.
And I'm like, okay, there goes that one. It took me like forever to cut lawns to make $10 when I'm like 12 years old.
True.
So, and all through high school, never took music. Again, same story. Or never took art either, for that matter. And I had to play. And I was 20 years old and working at the 19 years old, I was working at the towel factory for $3.25 an hour, taping boxes, and I saved up $100.
Dang.
And I went to Midwest Buy Sell on Irving.
Shout out to Midwest Buy and Sell. Love that place.
Yeah.
Good spot.
Wayne Sefton. I grew up with Wayne.
No way.
I grew up with Wayne. So I went there with $100. I'm like, I need an instrument. I got to play music. And I thought I was going to buy a guitar.
Okay.
And they had a Lion Healy C Melody saxophone on the wall for $80. I'm like, I got to have it.
No kidding. And Wayne goes, "You know how to play?"
I didn't know which end to blow in, but it didn't matter. I had to have it.
Wow.
And I'm like, thought I was getting a guitar. but the sax is pretty cool.
Had you heard saxophone?
No, I was a big blues fan.
Okay.
I love the blues. So step backwards a little bit. I'm 14 years old. I meet a friend of mine, Tommy Hickey, who's way into music, loves going to concerts.
Yeah.
And he was a couple years older than me. He had a car. And we went to every concert. Back then, you can get a bars. His dad worked for Jam Production as a cop.
Oh, shit.
We went to a bar, Biddy Mulligan's. I was 17 years old. And Muddy Waters walks in, a bar. And he starts playing, and I'm sat there listening to him, and I'm like, I have to be a musician. I have to be. And he had a saxophone player in his band. And I'm like, so I saw the saxophone, I'm like, that'll get me there. Mm-hmm. So I bought it, $80. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, now what do I do? So I called up
I love that. Just get the saxophone, like going there for the guitar and
buying a
saxophone. This is awesome.
So I saved up enough money, and I had the repadded.
Okay.
And the guy who repadded goes, I give lessons. How much are the lessons? He's like, $12 a lesson. I'm like, oh, man, I'm going to have to work like 4 hours after taxes for every lesson. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm in. Like, I'll figure this out. So I took lessons in this guy's basement.
Yeah.
At like $12 a lesson. And I learned how to play, and I learned how to read music.
Okay.
And that I was playing the sax.
So you did go through with
I went.
I am
now
reading music and all that.
The whole thing, and I'm like,
awesome.
I am loving the theory of music. I am just devouring this stuff. Mm-hmm. And then my kids were born. Okay, wait. One thing that I realized. Well, I'll get into that. So my kids were born, and of course we signed them up for music lessons. And it was important to me that my kids all become musicians. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to send them up for music lessons. My wife, at the time, I'm divorced, but she was real cheap. She didn't want to pay for lessons. Mm. So she goes, why don't you just learn how to play guitar and teach them?
Oh, God.
I said, okay. I think I will. Mm-hmm. And so I bought a guitar. And I'm like, at that time, I'm like,
how old were you then?
33, 34.
So you didn't get your first guitar till 33?
Yeah.
You heard it here first. That's amazing.
I bought a guitar and I learned how to play, and I taught my kids how to play. And I heard that there was this band looking for a musician, a guitarist. And I really wanted to play the horn. I really wanted to, but they had two people in the horn section. They didn't need a third.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I guess I'm a guitarist.
Okay.
And so I went there and auditioned, and they're like, cool, you're in. And it was 12 pieces to that band. It was a big band. And they go, do you know how to play the bass? I had never picked up a bass. And I go, sure. And they go, well, our bassist can't sing and play at the same time because he'd picked it up later in life. He was a singer. Mm-hmm. So we really like to have him sing, but can you play bass? Sure, what have I got to lose? Like, I'm thinking, no, I can't, but yes, I'll figure it out. Like, so I bought a bass.
And I'm like, I am now a bassist.
Man, so you went all around the table. You learned all the basses right off the bat.
I was in. Yeah. Music was in me. I'm like, just give me an instrument and I'll figure it out. Yeah. So my kids, Austin was amazing as a guitarist. He was probably the most talented. Fiona worked the hardest, my daughter. So she went to college on a music scholarship.
Amazing.
She was playing a bassoon.
Wow.
Buying a bassoon is like buying a small island. Mm-hmm. And so that got her to college, and she had scholarships everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you name it, USC, UCLA, Tulane, Vanderbilt,
amazing.
like everywhere. And she ended up at Illinois because the professor's like, I have 9 Grammys and I was on the Thriller album.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, I'm in.
That's funny. That's really amazing, Steve. I love that you picked up the saxophone out of all, the pieces. And shout out to Lab Rat and Pet Peeves, an excellent rock saxophone group. That high volume, high voltage. But with that learning, disability, like you still push through and learn to read music, but not only like read music, like wind instrument is, I mean, it's difficult. It's not an easy instrument to play.
But you think about it, I was a mechanic.
Okay.
Using the hands. When you have a learning disability, you tend to learn by using your hands. So it made perfect sense. It's such a logical instrument. It's not like you play guitar. Sometimes I could play sloppy.
Yeah.
There's no sloppy with saxophone. It is very logical.
Yeah.
It is very, sure, you can ad lib, but it's not like there's an accidental or something. That's the note.
Yeah.
And I remember I'm like, you know what? I always wanted to be B.B. King, but looks like I'll be John Coltrane. And I remember buying a piece of John Coltrane music. I was so excited. I opened it up and I took one look at that music. I'm like, I could live for 100 years and never play this. Like, that guy was a freak.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't continue to play 64th notes. Like, I can't remember that stuff.
How long did you end up playing the sax for then?
I sold my sax about a year and a half ago when I cut my finger off.
A year and a half
You know
ago.
I sold
and
it?
That finger happened
A year and a half ago
too?
Last summer. So the reason I sold it was, okay, this happens, and the first thing I thought is, how is this going to affect me as a musician? Well, I could alter my saxophone easily. I can move that G and pick it up. My saxophone was a 1918 Lion Healy. You think I'm going to alter that? I would be like, that's like buying a 56 Corvette and going, you know what? I think I'll just jack it up and make it a four-wheel drive. Like, you don't want to die first.
Yeah.
So I sold it, and I thought, you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to buy like a Yamaha that's affordable or something, and I'm just going to alter that.
Okay.
Something that I don't mind butchering. Not that I want to butcher anything, but I'm like, I'm not going to harm a classic.
Yeah.
I'll just get some student level one, and if it works, then I'll get a nicer one.
Okay.
But the first thing I did is went out and bought a keyboard because I thought, I can play the bass clef without an index finger. I think I can manage that.
Yeah.
Now, the second finger here has got a lot of nerve damage, but not on the pad. Up here it does. And I'm like, I think I can figure that much out.
Yeah.
So these are moves I'm making. Funny, the finger didn't get cut off. I ran it through a table saw, and they sewed it, the bone came out, and they go, you don't need a bone. So I had my finger for months with no bone. You talk about useless.
Yeah.
There was no way I would be able to play any instrument because it got in the way. And after a couple months, I went back. I'm like, you got to take it off. Like it is so in my way. And so by the time they took it off, and I'm like, okay, what I'm going to do as a musician, because I'm not giving up.
Because I'm not giving up. Because I'm not giving up. Because I'm not giving up.
And now you're lefty and righty. Both player.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
So, I'm not good at the keyboard. I'm still in the learning process, but I am ready to buy my next saxophone and cut the thing up and modify it to fit.
Fucking awesome. Really inspiring. It really is. I remember when you told me that, I was like, wow, that is a will to play. It truly is. What was the first band or group you were in Chicago when you were just starting to play?
One Drop. It was called One Drop.
Okay.
And we friends of ours, we'd start bands, we'd get one gig, and then you're out. Like it doesn't work out, and
sometimes
and
goes
whatever.
That way.
And as I got older, and more people had jobs, it kind of really throws a monkey wrench in things. Like there's not a lot of commitment, and so like I said, I left the band and wanted to work on my own music during COVID.
Totally.
And to become a better musician. I don't know. I think I'll be in another band again,
Okay.
but I'm definitely going to approach it different. Like the first time I joined a band, I had to audition. You know, I don't want to cover somebody else's songs.
I hear you.
I've done it. I really want to push my own.
Yeah, 100%. With that creativity that kind of swarmed during the Great Hiatus, I mean, it sounds like you certainly had a run of events. But during that time as well, did you feel like inclined to start creating more music than usual?
Totally.
You know, okay.
Totally.
Yeah, that's what I'm sensing.
My gosh,
for sure.
I was trying out anything and everything, and I was listening to more music.
Yeah,
You know, like just trying to understand what is out there. And my daughter, who went to college on a music scholarship, she's like a musical freak. She plays, a dozen different instruments. And the funny thing was, so I loved getting together with her.
Yeah.
And she plays in an orchestra today up in Minnesota.
Amazing.
You know, she's out of
Very
law
cool.
school. She's a practicing lawyer, and she still plays in an orchestra. And I love that. So it's funny because I did buy her a saxophone. Because in college, she's like, you know what? I'm just going to play sax in a jazz band.
Okay.
Like, makes perfect sense to me. I mean, she played in a marching band. So I said to her after I, lost my finger, I said, hey, that sax I bought you, can I get it back? She's like, I need to rent money, man. I had to sell it. I'm like, wait, I was paying your rent. She goes, well, I needed beer money then. I'm like, wait a second. You sold it because you wanted the money. She goes, yeah. Don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Tolano over in Champaign by that area?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not. I didn't make my way down there a whole lot when she was there. She did.
It's cool. It's a cool spot. Tolano has a place, a record studio, a recording studio. We went down a few times, me and my buddies. The guy from Hum.
Okay.
It's his place, and it's
Shout out to Earth Animal.
really cool. Another guest we've had on a couple times, Molly Compton. She goes there every year to do her birthday party album, which I love that. Like, it's not album sometimes just like a single, but I love the like ritual some people have of like, because some bands they'll record like every 3 years. Some bands will do a record every year. Now with kind of being able to do it more frequently, given tech, you see artists doing it in different styles,
Sure.
releasing in different styles. But I love like the commitment, like every birthday I'm going to release a record, or every...
That is a commitment.
Yeah.
That's
it is.
a total
It is.
commitment.
Totally, 100%.
I have a bunch of tattoos, and I go with two of my kids have a lot. My oldest and my youngest have a lot of tattoos. Middle boy don't have any. And
Nothing on the hands.
no, I got nothing on the hands yet. I think I'm gonna have a tattoo of fingernail on there. Yet.
That's right.
But it's funny because my daughter, one time we went to get a tattoo. I go, "What are you gonna get?" And it was the album cover from an American football album.
classic.
The house from Champaign.
100%.
And she's like, "I'm getting the cover of
Man, that
American
is such
football."
a classic album cover.
Oh,
It
such a
still
classic.
is such a classic cover.
The
Man.
tattoo guy's like, "That's a lot of lines,"
Yeah.
because the house was sided.
Yeah. I've always loved physical graffiti. That's Led Zeppelin. That
Sure.
cover. I don't know why that building just speaks to me. There's so many good covers, though, man. All the Pink Floyd covers are great. But man, there's you being an artist probably
I got to
have
tell
a
you,
collection.
when CDs first hit, because I've been around before CDs. I've been around before 8-tracks.
Yeah.
Like when CDs hit, album covers changed. Before that, man, you talk about like that Rolling Stone with the zipper on it that Andy Warhol designed. Like,
It was a big deal. I remember Jimmy Buffett said,
but man, it cost you as much to do the cover as it did to do the album. Like, that was a lot. The cover was so
Yeah,
a big part of it.
totally.
And I think when CDs came, it wasn't really the cover anymore. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
cool, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah. No, it was the single and the music video.
Right,
Yeah.
right. You know what? I
100%.
had an interesting conversation with my daughter, who I always thought was the musical purist, and which I love talking music. We talk music all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, what do you think about people who put out music but never learn to play an instrument? They just buy a laptop.
Mm.
And she's like, you can make sound, you can make people happy, you're making music.
And
I'm like,
love that.
wow.
That's beautiful.
Like, because she was such the purist
That's
of
the source. Yep.
and she's like, I don't care if it's a traditional instrument or somebody's keyboard or like, a laptop or whatever. She goes, you're making sound, you're making music, people are liking it.
Woo!
I'm like, that, I didn't see that one coming.
That is rock and roll. You heard that one first on Full Self Sesh. Now, kicking it back to 1991, Steve, E Automotive. How does that begin?
All right, so I worked in the factory, the Rivera Mills towel factory, for $3.25 an hour taking
my
boxes.
gosh.
Like, just kill me now. So my take-home pay was not quite $100. It was 99 and change.
Okay.
And it was January, and I hated that job with a passion. I heard that there was a job opening at a gas station, a full-serve gas station in January in Chicago. So I quit the towel factory to pump gas outside in January
Damn.
because it paid $155 a week. I'm like,
That's a $55 raise.
I'm going to live large. And I did. And the guy that owned the gas station was a great guy. And he was tough as nails, had a hell of a temper. He was a Hungarian dude. He was an officer in the Hungarian army, and he still thought he was in the Hungarian army.
Damn.
And I remember after the first week I worked there, he goes, "Hey, cocksucker, what's your name? I'm going to write you a check." I mean, that was like, I'm like, this guy's been calling me cocksucker for a week. Now he needs to know my name to write me a check. And but it turned out he was a great guy, and he really liked me. And he's like, how about if I pay for you to go to night school at Triton to learn about cars, because I can use somebody working on the cars in the gas station. And my dad, growing up, we had junks everywhere. My dad was always working on junks, and like I said, I worked on my first car as like 12 years old.
12.
Like, my dad had all the tools, and I go, what have I got to lose?
Okay.
Like,
Did he show you a few things here and there, or did
So-
you kind of just say, you know what, I'm going to take a stab at this?
No, my dad like painted cars. He did body work.
Okay.
He didn't do anything mechanical, but he had a lot of tools.
Okay.
So I'm like, man, we got nothing but junks around here. So since I was beginning, as long as I can remember, I was taking things apart. I was always using tools in my hands.
Cool.
I loved being in the garage with him. I loved just he'd give me things to take. Like, I took a starter apart when I was like 7. Like, I wanted to find out how that thing worked. So
Totally.
it wasn't a far reach when I'm in the gas station. And so I took 2 classes at night, and that was enough to get me going and working in the back on cars and progressing from there. And he was a great guy, and he really taught me a lot. But he took me under his wing. He taught me more than working on cars. He really taught me discipline. He taught me generosity. These are things I was lacking growing up. I grew up in a household that it was wide open. Like, here I start drugs and alcohol at 11.
Okay.
The house, it was wide open.
Yeah.
I kept a keg in my basement. Every week I'd steal another keg from a bar that I worked at in high school. I used to close the bar 2 nights a week, one night during the week, and then one night on the weekend I would close. I was, just helping out, bringing all the crap, and it was like 2 a.m, and then I had to go to school next day. But I figured out how to steal kegs. So I always had a keg in
As
my
one does.
basement. Like that was my life. And my mom didn't. When she found out I had a fake ID, she sent me to the liquor store.
Really? Wow.
So that
Yeah,
was
the struggle was very real.
Oh, my
this
gosh.
trying to escape and
Yeah, it was.
tough.
It was. I look back, and the thing is with memories, our brains are great storytellers and terrible historians.
true.
And so it fills in all the pieces. But the reality is, anything you look at in your life, the meaning you give it is based on who you are today. So there was a time that I looked at that and I said, that was an awful childhood. But today I look at it and go, that was so wonderful
I see.
because it taught me.
There was so much trials or things that happened that shaped you and brought you to where you are today. Sometimes that
Absolutely.
struggle is part of the craft.
You don't
know?
get you don't become a great sailor in great weather.
Yeah. No, you truly
You know
do
that
not.
all that made me stronger. I think about because my mom would she'd take off from home,
Yeah.
and so here we are. Like you got to figure out how you're going to eat.
Yeah.
You got to figure out
That's
how you're going to
really
get clean,
tough.
clean clothes.
Wow.
You know, you got to figure that. I'm 8 years old trying to
Yeah.
figure out. Like, how does this microwave thing work? Or the stove? Like, what can you eat? So, all of that was preparing me. But when I wasn't in a good place in life, I looked at that and I'm like, son of a, why didn't I get it better? I deserved better as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't do a good job. And the thing
Judgment,
is,
pointing the finger.
right, totally. But that's who I was.
Yeah.
And today I'm like, oh my God, you know what? They did the best they could. They were probably I'm the third, and I was not planned, and I'm sure they were freaking out. You know, like they did the best they could, and I'm thankful for that.
Yeah. That's huge.
That like I wish my parents were alive today.
Yeah.
You know, my mom died years ago, years and years ago. But I wish they were alive today so that I could say, you know what, I really appreciate the effort you did. That's just how you knew how to do it.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't a perfect household.
But you seeing the struggle, but still the adversity there and them still doing what they could with what they had, it seems like you yourself had the drive to, one, go out and, find your own lane in life and discover your own path, as, the background sounds like you did come from a household that had a lot of chaos and going on, but at the same time, it sounds like where did you find the drive or direction, with being from a household that was kind of upside down?
Okay, this is where it sounds kind of woo-woo.
Let's get into it. We get woo-woo here.
I have two older brothers. And my oldest brother went to college, played baseball in college, went to law school, became a lawyer. My brother Jay was a great athlete, class president, the whole thing. Went to college. There was some, bumps along the way.
Okay.
My parents never even asked me if I was going to college. I never took any. I never applied. That was not even a conversation.
If you don't mind me asking, what was the disability?
I was dyslexic.
Dyslexic. Okay.
And back then, to treat dyslexia, I did go to therapy. It was state-provided therapy.
Okay.
But the school addressed it as work harder. And so, I'd learned to fall through the cracks. I'd learned to hide.
Yeah.
But here I am. Every kid gets up to go to art, and I'm sitting there by myself. I would get up, and then they'd leave, and I'd sit back down. Hopefully they didn't notice. I'm dealing with this, and that's how I got into alcohol and drugs.
Wow.
I was just dealing with anxiety. I was dealing with feeling like I was less than.
Wow.
This is the crazy part. My whole life, I always felt like I was meant for something more. I didn't know what more was.
Yeah.
I didn't know what more looked like. But I felt like I was meant for there's a gift. And I had it, and I was meant for something.
Yeah.
And I remember I was at my shop, and business is good, and probably at the time I'm like maybe 40, so it's probably 20 years ago.
Okay.
And a real good friend of mine at the time, we're sitting there. We just worked on her car, and she said, "Wow, you know what? You're living a great life. Business is great, and everything." And I said, "Can I tell you the truth? I was meant for something more. Like this is wonderful. I've beautiful home, beautiful family, everything like that. But I didn't where's the fulfillment?
So you've always had that drive.
There was always something like
Always had that
always.
drive.
And today, like my girlfriend will say to me, she's like, "What is it with you that you don't stop?" I go, "Because I just know there's more."
Yeah.
So I had a conversation with a friend of mine on Monday. Today's Tuesday. He's yesterday. And she'd said to me, she said, "What brings you the most joy in life? And what have you done this year that brings you that joy?" And I said, "You know me pretty well. What do you think brings me the most joy in life?" Because you always have to answer a question with a question. And she said, "Oh, if you ask me, I think it's you just meeting people, contacting people." I said, "Okay, that's close. That's fair." I go, "But you really think that's it?" And she goes, No. It's you helping people." I go, "Me, if I can help somebody, if I can elevate somebody's life, if I can show them a path, if I can get them to believe in themselves, that's the most rewarding, most fulfilling.
That's
that brings
money.
me the most joy."
That's money. 100%. That's amazing.
That
really
will make me smile
Yeah.
every single time.
Yeah. There's nothing better than being able to spark creation or spark someone's creativity, truly, or help someone in general at all. That really is is a treat.
I look at every 5-year-old as an artist.
Every 2-year-old.
Every 2-year-old's an artist, but every 20-year-old isn't. It's because everyone forgot, or they didn't believe in themselves. Somebody told them they weren't, and they bought it.
I just want to say, that's spot on. Thank you so much for sharing that. And myself, I bring it up on the show every now and then, but I myself, when I was growing up, oddly enough, in Edison Park, I was in Edison Park up to first grade, was going to go to second grade, and I struggled with dyslexia myself. I couldn't read. I couldn't get it. I was in resource classes, and my parents decided to move to
Park Ridge.
because I had, to go back one year and didn't want to get made fun of, changing his school, all that. I was already feeling really guilty and really upset about feeling like I couldn't use my brain like the other kids. And so when I moved to Park Ridge, I remember feeling defeated. And even at that age, when I was told, you're dyslexic, you're going to go to first grade twice, you're going to have to go to these learning disability classes, I was mad at myself. I was very, 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 very upset at myself. And I think there was my journey. From there, it was like I always pushed myself to try to create and try to understand, but unfortunately, because I had that mix up with school, I lost my ambition for education. I lost my will to want to listen to the teachers. And so I went along this almost kind of this self-sabotage journey, which I can recognize in myself now, because I thought I was dumb. I literally thought my brain was not like any of the other people in my class, and that there was no hope. There was no way I can get a degree. So when music and punk rock and Nirvana came into my life, I went full on, man. I just went tunnel vision all the way, like
You
nothing
found the release.
else. That's it.
So for
It
you, it
was
was the first
Endgame.
grade, huh? For me, it was the third.
Wow. Okay.
But it was so humiliating.
Yep.
Okay, because this is how it worked. I went to fourth grade. They took attendance. After attendance, I had to get up and leave in front of every kid and go to third grade. And then I was sitting at third grade, and then I was allowed to join my classmates in the afternoon every day.
Gosh.
So every day, every kid saw me go into third grade. It's not like, oh, where's Steve? Like I didn't show up that year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, every day I had to walk past them and go back with the third graders.
Wow.
And I'm like, I lost my ambition for education. And so my girlfriend now is a teacher. And she's
Shout out to all the teachers.
yeah,
Moms and
absolutely.
teachers. Shout out mom.
So
Emma.
she
Shout out.
she teaches the science of reading.
Cool. Awesome.
Now, because I struggled with reading and I hated school so much, I love the social part that I refused to learn.
Yeah.
So when I graduated high school, I had a third grade reading level, and I never read a book. I read my first book at 23.
Yeah.
The 16th Round by Reuben Carter.
That was the first book?
First book from cover to cover. Today, I devour books.
That's amazing.
Like, I don't watch TV.
What was it about that first book that sparked your interest?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I heard a story. I don't know if you know the story about Reuben Carter.
I don't know. I'm not totally
Okay,
familiar.
so
I know
he's the number one contender,
Okay.
and he lives in a tough part of Jersey.
Okay.
And it's the 60s, and he's black.
Okay.
They pick him up for a murder charge in a bar. And the one guy in the bar is like, he wasn't him. You know, like, why are you bringing him around? So it's not Reuben. But he's kind of a loudmouth, and they'd really like to shut him up. So this guy that says it's not him dies. And they caught two guys, but they don't charge them. And eventually they do. So Reuben Carter goes to jail. And he's the number one contender in the world. People feared him. And now he's sitting in jail. And Denzel Washington played Reuben Carter in the movie Hurricane.
Okay.
So a kid in Canada who was adopted, happened to be black, adopted by a white family, hears about this. And he said, hey, to his mom and dad, you guys are lawyers. Can you go and meet Reuben Carter? This is wrong, what happened to him. So this kid encourages his parents to go to America and represent Reuben Carter. This goes on for 19 years.
Wow.
And then Reuben Carter's finally released. They said, you know what? You didn't do it. We'll let you go. And I thought, what is the story that motivated this kid with so much passion to get his parents? Like, it's not like, Mom, I want a bike. No, okay. You know, like, Mom, you got to defend him. You got to defend him. Where they said, you know what? You're right. We got to.
Yeah.
And they committed their life. Like, that was it. Like, what's this whole story?
Yeah.
So Reuben wrote the book while he's in prison. Now, he's not released yet.
What
At
did
the
he
release
write it
of
on?
Well, that's just it. There's no ghostwriter. There's no
Paper
nothing.
and- yeah, wow.
Paper, and then he turns it in. I'm like,
my gosh.
well, I'm going to choose this as my first book because Reuben wasn't the most educated person. And I'm like, I bet he's not a real good writer. And I know I'm not a real good reader. Like, this seems like it's going to work.
Yeah, yeah.
And I chose that book, and it was an amazing story. It was so obvious that he was not guilty. And Bob Dylan wrote the song, The Hurricane. You know, because at the time, Bob Dylan was bigger than life.
Yeah.
Like, this is like
he
the
still?
60s.
He's still.
Hurricane, and it was such a protest song.
Bobby Blue. Yeah.
And so, you know, that whole thing motivated me.
Yeah.
And I thought this book was wonderful.
Yeah.
It took me on a journey.
Totally.
And I'm like, I wonder if there's another book that could do that.
Yeah.
So just yesterday, I was on Amazon. I ordered like another dozen books.
Cool.
I just like devour them.
Yeah. I love it.
I love them.
I love it. I definitely have to check out that book myself. Read to Succeed or Not. I am trying myself to push forward with reading. These are two of my favorite books. I don't bring books up all the time, but The Artist's Way by
my gosh.
Julia Cameron
I've
is a
read it.
game changer that comes up all the time on the show, changed my life. And Rick Rubin's the creative act, A Way of Being, is something
I've heard of it.
A
A whole
another
other
level.
level.
but now I'm gonna have to read
Truly, just a super fun way to dive into creative, but then push the limits of how we go about as artists creating, because it's not as cookie cutter as we may think. There's ways to push ourselves out into those outer limits and unknown limits and still accept the experience fully. Rick Rubin kind of pushes the line of self-doubt, it's interesting because I feel in artistry, there is a lot of self-doubt, there is a lot of self-pain, there is a lot of, part of when you're creating music is connecting with that emotion so rawly, so purely that it does come with that real emotion of pain. But that self-worth piece, which is something that took me so long to find, I found through The Artist's Way by practicing it a little bit each day.
It's a great book. I read that about a year ago, and I hesitated. It was one of those books I hesitated to read.
Yeah.
And then finally I'm like, you know what? It's about time. I was going to mention when you talk about feeling the pain as an artist, it's a balance to be. I don't care what kind of artist you are. Art is creativity.
Yeah.
And there's a certain balance between total narcissist and complete self-deprecation. Because you got both of them. And who's going to, I'm the greatest.
Oh, God, I suck.
Like, that's the worst ever. Look at me. I'm winning. It's just, it's such
What a
an
fucking roller
emotional
coaster.
Roller coaster is insane. Yeah. But I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't be good if you didn't know the struggle. And honestly, what's driven me in art and in music, and the thing with art being a painter, is my brother was an amazing artist and didn't care because he was so good at it. Like, he never put an effort into it, never pursued it. And I was the worst. Like, I never took an art class. I didn't do anything. And people see my art now, and they go, wow, that's pretty amazing. I'm like, yeah, you missed the 50 years to get to here. Like, I was so successful overnight. It only took me 50 years.
Yeah. I was going to ask, how long do you think it took to get the painting down?
How long to get to what?
The painting down.
I'll let you know as soon as I do. So today was funny. Yes. It was funny that I had one of my employees said, hey, I owe you a paintbrush. And there was like a 2-inch paintbrush. And he goes, I grabbed one of your paintbrushes. I go, don't worry about it. I got like 100 of them. He goes, what do you use a 2-inch paintbrush for? I go, I'm an artist. I go, you don't think that I paint with those little tiny brushes? I'm not that good. Like, it's big brushes. Like, everything is big stroke.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. Marshall's an incredible artist.
Okay.
He sits there and his brushes are like a 0.07. Like, it's almost like the end of a pin.
Wow.
And I'm buying like a 2-inch brush to 3-inch. And, like, that's my style. And I just had to find my own voice in it.
But you're doing it. That's the
right.
thing is, like, when you were painting, were you showing up every day and just kind of throwing it on the canvas? Like,
I remember
throwing things out. Like,
I remember my dad brought home another junk car, as he always did.
Okay.
He dragged another junk car, and I couldn't have been older than maybe 9. And he opens the trunk, and I am not lying. There's a box, and it's got spray paint in it. I go, spray paint? Huh. Holy cow. When I hit that nozzle and I sprayed on that car because it was junk, it was like I found my glory. And then
First thing ever painted, E Auto. Which is a really nice logo. It is.
It is. So one of the nozzles I remember was broken, and it streamed out.
Okay.
Like a fine line today, like a fine line nozzle.
Yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't a fine line back then. It was just a damaged nozzle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, I bet I could draw with this thing. So then I'm like, how do they get the how do you get it to really stand out? I didn't understand 3D or anything like that, or And I'm like, okay, so if I painted a dot and then I drew a line, and I go, so whatever's on the other side, I know I could shade that.
Yeah.
Like I didn't understand shading. I didn't understand mixing paint.
But you did it.
But I did it. Like I didn't understand any of that. Okay, I am not lying. I'm probably 35 years old, and I take like a marketing class or something like that.
Oakton, OCC?
No, it was in California. And they brought out a color wheel.
Okay.
I'd never seen a color wheel in my life. I'm 35 years old.
Red and yellow and pink and blue
You were
and
like,
orange.
the color wheel
totally,
and the thing, and there were guys explaining. I'm like, where the hell was this thing when I was 9? Like, this is how do I get one of these color? I'm 35 years old.
Yeah.
So I had no history or no knowledge. It was just me doing it. And today I'm fascinated with art. But my art history goes back to like 1987, because that would be like Warhol's death.
Yeah.
So it kind of ends right there. Like, ask me anything about 1982 art, and I couldn't tell you.
Gotcha.
It's everything moving forward. So, and graffiti being such a large part of it.
Yeah.
And it's something I always loved.
Yeah, shout out to that band. Excellent band. Graffiti. Love that band. When did you start tagging then yourself?
I was probably 14.
Okay. And was it something your parents knew you were up to?
Oh,
Did
heck
they
no.
know you took the spray paint can outside the garage?
So the thing was, because my dad did body work, there was always spray cans. But I wasn't any good. But I felt it. So I didn't tell my friends. I did it alone.
There you go.
Like, I'm not good enough to show my work, but I'm not going to quit.
So
And
you were
it's funny
doing it.
that I run into these people I went to high school with, and they go, when did you start doing all this? I go, crap, before high school, And,
Yeah.
and they go, you did this during high school? I go, yeah. And nobody knew? Because I didn't tell you. Because I knew you would judge me. And I could not deal with the judgment. So it was one of those, like, I'll sneak off and do it on my own.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's one of the most important things I took from The Artist's Way was, the morning pages, because it is showing up no matter what comes, showing up and creating anyhow, doing that enough days in a row, that is when things start to click. So the fact that you were just going forward, doing it anyhow, painting anyhow, creating anyway, it's amazing that you found yourself at a totally different timeline, than you were when you had nothing,
Yeah, and and I gotta admit, today I still do graffiti. I just don't run. I bring bail money.
Well, yeah.
It's funny. I found out that my oldest boy in high school, he would go out and with his friends and they'd do graffiti. When I found out, I'm like, I should probably tell him it's wrong, but no.
Is it?
Well, like you are
Technically,
defacing.
legally it is.
So it's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, I live in the city. I have a building, and my building is taller than the building next to me.
Yeah.
And so these kids hopped up on the roof of the building, 4 buildings down, came across the roof, and they tagged the side of my building.
The Eck building.
No, my home.
Okay, that's a different story.
And so somebody sees it, but no, I live in a commercial building.
Cool.
I'll tell you that. And it's like, that's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
wild story. And so I looked at him like, damn, that's kind of cool. I'm not going to touch it. Like, you know what? Kudos to these kids.
Yeah.
Nobody could see it. They took their time because they're really well hidden, and still
Good.
nobody could see it.
Yeah.
And then some dude does it, and he just tags it. I'm like, what a dick.
He tags over it.
No.
Oh.
He just got paint, and he went to like the front of my building and just took blue paint. I'm like, what a dick.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy took time.
Yeah.
So my home, I don't live in a traditional home. I live in a bank.
Okay.
I bought a bank. I have a big bank
Steve
vault.
Ack, you would live at a bank. That's awesome.
I bought an
This
old,
is all money.
Coming up, Millhouse on Full Self Sesh.
I spent a year looking at buildings, and I wanted something that wasn't a home. And I looked at restaurants, I looked at warehouses, and I bought.
That's so cool, man.
It was a bank. There's a bank
Yeah.
vault in it, and then it was a pawn
It's
shop.
like every gangster's dream
Oh, yeah.
to live in a bank.
And then it was just a dilapidated building. So I bought it, totally dilapidated, right by Wrigley, and it's on Ashland, Belmont, Lincoln. And I spent 2.5 years remodeling it. It's 5,500 square feet.
Damn.
I've got a rooftop deck. I mean, I live in a palace, but I've put a lot of money into it. So it's not your traditional house, but so when these guys tagged the side of it, I wasn't upset. I'm like, you know what? I just wish that they didn't beat me to it. Like, it's gonna suck to go up there and tag over it because that's a pretty awesome canvas.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to do it. So at the shop, I love graffiti. And so the wall, back when it was all brick before I remodeled and all that, it's still brick, that wall. We called it what did we call it? The public wall? The community wall. Community wall. And I allowed kids to graffiti.
Yes.
And they can bring their supplies and no questions asked. And there was a lot of good art.
That's
and
awesome.
a dude did an amazing mural, a tribute to a friend of his. It was incredible. And the police did not like that I was doing this.
Okay.
They're like, I go, no, I'm giving these kids a release. Like, I even bring a ladder so they can use a ladder so they're not all 5 foot and down. And I go, so what's the harm? Well, what if they go down and start doing other buildings? I go, why would they do other buildings? I go, there's no other building tagged here. This is the only one, and I'm allowing it.
Yeah.
So I don't see the problem. But they couldn't stop me. And so the one guy does a mural to a fallen fireman. And Chris Wheatley, who the fireboat is named after Chris Wheatley. So they
Shout
do a
out.
big
Awesome.
Chris Wheatley. And then the fire departments are showing up doing like photo ops. And I said to the police, yeah, now how do you like it, right? Now we see the good in it. So
That's so funny. Oh,
it was,
man.
we were in Time Out magazine.
That's amazing.
It was great, it was a good time.
Love that you could walk into Eck Auto, and let me tell you, if you haven't been there, Chicago, yet, it is not just the typical, automobile, shop, one-stop shop. You walk in, we're talking art studio, lounge area, some inspiration on the walls. It's a very rad place, full of rock.
I never wanted anybody to think they were in a repair shop, because why would you want to be in a repair shop? Like, think about that. Would you want to hang out in your dentist's office? Like, that doesn't seem fun.
Yeah.
Why don't we make it a place? So during COVID,
Unless it's Spice Town Guitars. Shout out to Spice Town.
That's a fun place to be. Love that tech shop. Shout out. Great place to fine tune your guitar, all axes.
I'm gonna have to check that place out. During COVID, people were coming to the shop to work
Okay.
because they could spread
Oh,
out and
that's
they got
right.
out of their home.
No, it's a super cool spot.
Yeah, it was like comfortable and it was just a great time. People we could social distance. It was kind of interesting during the. I keep calling it the experiment.
Yeah, it was.
That was an experiment, and that proved we are such social creatures. It was never going to be the money end of it. Like, people are going to recover from that.
Yeah.
It was going to be the social impact. So during COVID, though, I had this friend. He fronts Tributosaurus.
Okay.
Chris Neville. Do you know Chris?
I think I might have had the pleasure of meeting him once or twice.
Okay, so he fronts.
Does he
You've
hang
heard
out
of
at Metal Edge Records often?
Could.
Maybe.
He owned what bar did he own? There's music in that. I can't think of the name of it. But his bar was shut down.
Okay.
His music venue was shut down. And this is like, we're 2 years into COVID or whatever. And he comes to the shop or upstairs, and we're just kind of jamming. And I knew Chris because he's a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
We know each other, but we weren't. It's not like I'm going to call him up.
Yeah.
I didn't even have his phone number. Another friend called, and we're just jamming. And we had two different views of COVID. And I'm like, it's not the financial thing. Well, he's got no money coming in. And I'm going, it's not the financial thing, because right away I'm sounding like an ass to him. But the truth was, it was a social thing.
Yeah.
You will recover.
Yeah.
We'll figure out how to recover. And it was one of those jam sessions, or one of those things that it didn't turn out well, because the whole COVID, we're having conversations, and like, I'm just talking or whatever. And I didn't mean to offend anybody, but he was in a position where he was hurting. And I seemed like I didn't care. I mean, which is so far from who I am, but he never said, I'm hurting.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know. I didn't read his mind. And,
Yeah.
and after the night, shake hands or whatever, and he takes off. And I ran into him like 2 years later at a show. And I go, hey, Chris. Man, he wouldn't even look at me.
Dang.
And I'm like, wow. Like, I would just say, and the only reason I knew he felt like is the friend who invited him, who I'm friends with, she goes, yeah, he hates you.
Dang.
I go, then why did he say, dude,
Yeah.
you were an ass?
Yeah.
And, and just, it's one of those things like, okay, you know what? You're going to sit in this misery and hate me. You're drinking the poison.
Yep.
But I'm
That's
not feeling
it.
the pain.
That's it. Drinking jealousy.
Yeah, like,
Drinking the poison. It's no good.
dude, and I didn't know. So I think, I'll run into him again. I have no
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah.
And I think I'll come up to him and say, hey, listen, I want to talk about that one night.
Yeah.
That's
good.
Let's pour the poison on the ground.
I love that because, it's more than ever, it's time to just rock and roll.
You
have a
know,
good time,
yeah, I just wanna
create-
jam,
right, there
right?
we go. Get back into the session, I love that. That's great. With your business, Steve, really want to ask, for you, what do you think is the most important value in your business?
Oh, it's okay. If you know me through this conversation, where I always think of, helping people. I really always think, how can we serve? If you went and asked any of my employees right now, what do I constantly say? And it's always, how can we do better for people? How can we serve? So when the government shutdown happened, I said, how can we make a positive impact? What can we do? We're an auto repair shop, right? So most people would go, well, fix cars. No, what are people needing right now? People need food. So we did a food drive. And here I am loading up my car and going to the Nourishing Hope food pantry. And Thursday I dropped off 180 pounds of food because they weighed all. I got another load ready to go. I'm like, what can we do? How can we use our influence to help people? It's... I had this conversation with my daughter, and I said, who changes the world? And she said, I said, rich people. And she said, you sound like an a-hole. I go, okay. Say you are not rich. She's starting out in life. I said, say you want to eradicate malaria. What do you do? She goes, I'd get a bunch of nets. How do you get those nets? You have no money. She goes, well, I would go to somebody wealthy. So it always takes money. So I think in life, when you hit a certain amount of success, and my business brought me financial success, it's my responsibility to contribute to society, to give back. And, so how can an auto repair shop, what's that have to do with the government shutdown? Well, let's use our brand. Let's use our platform. Let's use our reach to get food to people. It's about people.
And an art studio, place to hold space. You guys have shows there sometimes, a great space for artists to collect and just overall welcoming. Even 2020, when I went to the shop, there was, music and you guys were still doing it. It was very lively.
Thank
beautiful.
you. I wanted my vision for the art gallery is I wanted people to show who's never shown.
Okay.
It takes so much for your first show as an art. There's a lot of artists that never show their art. Like a lot of musicians never play in a band. They never perform.
Yeah.
They just play the music. And I thought, well, what stops people? Well, the opportunity first, but a space. And I thought this would be an incubator. Like, let anybody show. And it's such a safe space. So every year, Taft High School, the people in the art class do a show. I just like, let's show. The first show we're going to have after the first of the year is a guy who's never shown before.
Okay.
And how he started out is he just grabbed his cell phone. He took photographs from New York. And people always loved his photographs. He's like, maybe I got an eye. So then he buys a camera. Like he just learns along the way.
Did you just get started on Instagram?
Yeah, right. That's just,
wow.
He kind of did this thing.
Amazing.
You're right. Right.
Yeah.
You look at his work and you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
You really capture things here.
Yeah.
And I asked him, he was at my house one time. Funny. It was the same person who set up the Chris Neville Jam. Like, introduced me to this guy, and I'm like, there's a track record. How am I going to offend this guy? But no, what a great guy. And he's like, I don't know. I never took a photography class. He's like, I just took pictures with my phone.
Yep.
I'm like,
Wow.
Right. That's kind of like we all learned about
You never
music.
know. You just really never know.
Right.
Really.
They all handed you a recorder in the second grade.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the equivalent of the recorder.
Yep. Amazing. What quality in a person, artist, do you find to be the most beneficial when it comes to success?
What quality in an
What
artist?
quality do you think in a person is the most important between that fine line between failure and success?
This is going to sound, but it's true. Your need to be liked will stop you from reaching the success you desire.
Damn.
If you have a need to please people and a need to be liked by people, you'll never be authentic.
Damn.
And you'll never show, because your art is you. There's no hiding it.
Yep.
There's no sugarcoating it. There's no nothing. That's you. I don't care what form it is. That is. So in life, you could choose to be creative or you could choose to be competitive. Now, the difference is creative is from the inside out, as an artist would do. You create what's in you and you bring it out. In business, you can be creative. This is in me, out. When you're competitive, when you're worried about your competitor, your focus is on someone else, something else, or somewhere else. It's external.
Yeah.
But when you're creative, your focus is internal.
100%.
So your need to be liked will have a huge impact. If you need to have people like you, you're never going to be to show your true self.
That's a rock and roll bomb. Just went off here at the Full Self session. Wow, that's amazing, Steve. Do you think success is by design?
Absolutely. It's not
100%?
by accident.
Okay.
It's not by accident. It doesn't fall from the sky. And here's my definition of success: living on your terms.
How so?
So here you are. You're in a studio.
Yep.
This is your studio.
Rocking it out.
Right. You're not.
Not the cashier at Walgreens right now. You're living on your terms. This is success. You could take this anywhere. Not that there's anything wrong with working at Walgreens. But what I'm saying
Was
is
at Trader Joe's behind the register for 10 years, 10 plus years. And then before that, 30, retail jobs.
Sure. But so what I mean is most people, my brother is a great example. He wakes up, drinks coffee, maybe has breakfast, gets in his car, drives to work, sits at the same desk. You know what? Same thing over again. Every March, he's going to talk about March Madness. Like this is his life. He comes home.
Sports.
Right. So he comes home and eats dinner and then turns on the TV and then falls asleep. And this is his grind, right? And this is most people. And so what I mean by living on your own terms is if you want to measure success financially, that's fine.
Yeah.
But what's more valuable, money or time?
Time.
Time, without a doubt. How you spend your time. You're here because it's freedom.
Yeah.
You can be here.
Yeah.
You've recognized that this is the best use.
The great hiatus opened that up 100%.
This is success. There's somebody right now who's binging Game of Thrones for the third time. Would I say that's success? No.
Maybe one time and then possibly going on to Craigslist to look up, when's the next time they're casting for
The next Game of Thrones.
sure. I don't think they ever try to recover from that show. Wow, I'm still feeling burned by the last episodes. I hate to admit it. What a turnaround, man.
I've never seen an episode. Everyone raves about the show.
Yeah.
I'm not a big TV watcher.
Yeah.
And I used to be a huge TV watcher.
Yeah.
I used to...
Winter is coming. Yeah.
I got instruments, I've got books, I've got
Yeah.
canvases, I've
awesome.
got projects like...
No, that's amazing. Yeah, it's you are so busy and so active and always creating and cooking things up. And I love that you said that because truly, if you are creating at all in this day and age and you're pushing forward with creating and collaborating, that's a win. That's a
Totally.
win 100% as an artist.
Totally. And I'm going to take it one step further. People have a goal, which I think we should all have. They tend to be lazy and boring because their goal is only what they know they can achieve. To go after something that you can't see yet, that's off your radar. Okay, we are sitting here in your studio, music everywhere. You don't know where this is going to take you, do you? You don't know what it's going to look like 10 years from now. That's amazing. Because most people, I love my brothers, I can tell you where they're going to be 5 years from now. I can tell you exactly where they're going to be. I can tell you the clothes. I can tell you the clothes they're going to wear. They have a trajectory that is so, you can see it coming a mile away. Your trajectory isn't because you're doing something different. You're living life on your term. We don't know where this is going to go.
No idea. No idea.
Do you think that Steve Jobs when he was sitting in the kitchen assembling the first computer that they sold for $200. Do you think he knew where that was going to take him?
Probably had no idea
There's
at
no
all. He
clue.
probably had maybe an ambition or
no
a
clue.
hope, But,
He had a path,
yeah.
but he didn't know where it was
Which
going.
I still don't know how those two geniuses cooked up what would become Apple. Like it's an amazing story.
Did you ever read the book?
I have not read fully in detail the book. No, I
Okay.
just know that there was substances involved in a garage, which is a good place to start.
Here's the thing. They were both two huge pranksters.
And they love the Beatles too, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
they
Oh,
love-
totally. But they meet in high school, and there's like 5 years difference or some 4 years difference. But they hit it off because they both wanted to play practical jokes.
That's funny.
So their relationship built on getting in trouble. And I'm like, that's wonderful. There were two souls and had no idea where it's going to bring them.
Yeah.
But so people working 9 to 5, and I think there is a call for that. And if that's who you are, that's fine. I don't want to sound like I'm judging. But when you're on the 9 to 5 wheel, we know where that's going. We know where you're going to be in 10 years.
Yeah.
If you stay on that path, I don't know where I'm going to be in 10 years. That's the cool thing. If I look back at my life 10 years ago,
And the scary thing.
yeah, you know what? If it doesn't scare you, it ain't big enough.
That's awesome.
My life today, sitting here, I could not have predicted this is where I'd been 10 years ago. Like
Yeah.
if you said, Steve, where are you going to be in 10 years?
yeah.
I would not be here. You know, like I didn't see it coming.
Man. At what point for you did you kind of know like, okay, I'm definitely gonna go into business? And when you did start E Auto, was that something you went solely in by yourself? Did you start the business yourself?
100% by myself. I walked in. I knew I wanted to be in business. It scared the heck out of me. And I thought, well, okay, how can I do this right? And believe me, I didn't know the first thing about business. So I knew I needed equipment, so I started buying equipment. Just stored everything like lifts and that. I bought them used.
Okay.
Stored everything in my garage.
Okay.
And then I was married at the time, saved up as much money as possible, had a line of credit through the bank with my house on it, you know, and in case I needed more money. And I rented the building. One of the buildings I own right now, I rented, and it was $1,400 a month. And I made it. Like I made my rent, I paid my bills. A month into it, I hired my first employee because I'm like, I need an employee. You know, I got to work here. And then 14 months into it, the building that you're talking about, that we were talking about, went up for sale, and I bought it.
No kidding.
That
happened
scared
fast,
the crap
too.
out of me. And then eventually I bought the first building I was in. So that's all of that. I kept going, even though I was scared to death. I'm like, you go,
Do you remember
show
when
up.
you LLC'd?
What's that?
Do you remember when you LLC'd or went about making the business official?
Sure. Yo, totally.
Gotcha.
1991.
Yeah.
I did it right, you know, like got all my licensing, everything.
Okay.
I didn't shortcut
Yeah,
it.
licensing in 1991 must have been a very different than licensing in
like
2025.
That was pre-internet.
Yep.
That
Almost
was
pre-Steve Jobs.
yeah,
Almost.
right.
Well, pre-Apple extraordinary, you know, Apple
were just-
revolution, you know.
They were just coming into their own.
yeah.
That was a crazy, crazy time. And I remember hearing about the internet. It was a Saturday. I'm working on a car, and they're like, there's this thing called the internet, and you can use your name and put .com after it. And I thought, at the time, well, why don't I just use everyone's name and then sell it to them? You know, like we were all thinking at the time. And that's who you would go around getting celebrities' names and hoping to sell it back to them.
Yeah.
Like, but I never did anything like that. It was just a thought that popped in my head. But so you start a business before the internet.
Yeah.
Then you have to let people know you're in business before the internet.
Yep. And you went with EC, which is E. That's far from A when it comes to the
Right.
yellow pages.
That is the yellow, right? I'm standing on street corners passing out pamphlets. I fix cars. You know, like you just did what you had to do.
That's amazing.
You just did it, and
Yeah.
I was scared out of I was scared to death.
Yeah.
But I thought, what are my choices?
Yeah.
You know, you could curl up in the ball and die, or you could just keep going.
Yeah.
And I kept going.
Amazing. Amazing, Steve. I want to ask, because I've heard in some interviews you bring up how important your employees are. And with that, the change and having an impact to better people, seems to be a practice of yours that you do continue each day.
What was your first employee?
His name is Brian.
Brian,
Eggers.
okay. Shout out.
I'd worked with him, and then when I was looking for an employee, I went right to him. I'm like, hey, you want to come and work for me?
Cool.
Employees were the hardest thing because in the beginning, I really didn't understand managing people, leadership. And I was just working on cars.
Yeah.
This all came over time. When I realized I didn't know a lot about business, I started taking business courses.
Okay.
And then I became so good at it that's the company I worked for. I had the greatest gig. I would teach in L.A. I'd go out there, surf for a couple days. I'd teach. I'd surf for a couple days, come home.
Surf's up.
Yep. Oh, my God, I love surfing. And I got, and the better I got at business and understanding people and understanding human behavior, the better grade of employee I got. Because then it wasn't about what are you going to do for me? Is who can I help you become? I know all of my employees' goals.
Yeah.
Like I know.
Shout out to Remy on the pipes.
Yeah,
Man, that guy could sing.
yeah.
can.
He is awesome. I love listening to his stories.
Yeah.
He is the most well-rounded person, and he's
true
been
rocker.
with me.
Yeah.
He's been with me for a long time, and he's even said he never thought he'd be in one place more than 2 years because he'd never been anywhere more than 2 years. Wow. He's been with me for years. Wow! But yeah, Mike, the other guy who works for me, Mike, he's been with me. Oh my God, it's got to be 18, 19 years now. But so all my employees are been with me a long time.
Yeah.
I treat them well. They treat me well. We have a great relationship. We have a great culture. We treat each other with respect. You never hear yelling or swearing.
Do you guys have core values at EC or a system of principles you guys go about aside the salt water and
Yeah,
the surf's up?
We do. It's basically okay. Man, I don't know if I should say it on the air, but I will. Whatever it takes. Now, I have on one side we have customers, then there's us, and then there's my vendors. And whatever it takes means I usually have to go nose to nose with them to make them happy. Like whatever it takes. Sometimes usually it's on this side, between me and my vendors, which like that's the part of business. So whatever it takes,
Whatever it takes.
whatever it takes,
Yeah.
and just make smart decisions.
Yeah.
Like my guys know they're all allowed to make mistakes. Meaning, hey, you know what? I thought this was the best approach. If it was a mistake, it was a mistake.
Yeah.
We'll just make it right.
True.
You know, that's you just whatever.
Yeah.
So they have that leeway. I don't micromanage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the time nor the crayons to micromanage.
Yeah. Leading by example is 100%.
That's
some of the best.
That's exactly how I do it.
Yep.
I encourage
Yeah.
my employees to go after their goals.
Yeah.
I've had employees that have left to open a business, and I go, if you want, let me know, and I'll help you.
That's awesome. That's super cool.
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
And it's funny that I have a couple guys that work for me. Dave, early on, he's been with me for 15 years. And early on, he's like, I want to open up my own repair shop. I said, Dave, when you're ready, let me know. I'll help you.
Yeah.
And at one time, Mike and Dave come to me and they said, there might be a time we'd like to buy into this.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, we'll sit down and talk about it. And within the last year, I said to them, so, you mentioned you having your own shop or buying into this. They're both like, hell no. We've got it too good. Like, we don't need the stress. We're making good money.
Who doesn't want to work at E Automotive?
Yeah, they're like, you know what? We're just good right where we're at. I don't need the grief of it. They make good money. They both have really developed great lives.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm not gonna make waves. I don't need the stress.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Amazing. No, it's such a cool shop and an amazing approach to kind of just, go about it with in a creative way that also includes artists and includes that art lounge. And
so my thing was in business, there are no rules. There are no rules. There are no rules. So there's no rules that says an auto repair shop has to be an auto repair shop. Mm-hmm. Why can't it be an art gallery? Mm-hmm. Like, if somebody could explain to me why it can't, then I'll listen to it. But why can't it?
Exactly.
Like, why can't it? Could be whatever you want it to be. Mm. And so I think people get so pigeonholed into what they do. Mm-hmm. That they don't explore what they can do. And I think there's a lot of fear that comes in business. People are afraid to go out of business.
How much money did you have when you started Eck Auto?
I had $10,000.
Okay. That's where you started.
I put up $2,800 as $1,400 rent and $1,400 for security. Mm-hmm. So I put out $2,800. The rest was sitting in an account.
Okay.
I started monthly accounts with the suppliers, so I didn't have to pay for the parts until they were already installed and that was paid for.
And you taught yourself all of that?
All of that. My first month in business, I did, the first month, I did like $10,000 in sales, which was huge. Yeah. Not a huge profit margin, but huge sales. And
above water.
Above water.
There you go.
I definitely had some cash flowing. And for 34 years, this is what I really love. We've had growth for 34 years. Mm. First of all, the percentage of businesses stick around for 34 years is right around 1%. Mm-hmm. And we've managed growth through a few recessions, through that whole experiment, that through the economic turndowns, you name it, we've survived it, excelled. In 34 years, I've never had a lawsuit.
That really, truly is amazing.
In automotive repair.
Is really unheard of.
That is unheard of. There's nobody.
Unheard of. Wow.
There's a lot of
noise complaints aren't the same though. With the amount of jamming, guys get noise complaints all the time. Joking.
So I'm proud of that's not just me, but that's my crew.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I couldn't do it alone.
Amazing. I love E Automotive, and yeah, anyone that wants to check out a rock and roll auto shop, go check out E. Highly recommend. When did you start Life by Design?
So, okay, it is the shutdown going on.
Okay.
I'm living on my boat. I just buy a brand new boat in 2020.
2020, okay. Taking
So,
it back again to the great
we're
pause, the great hiatus. Here we are.
Great hiatus. In January, I go to the boat show and I buy a boat. I don't know COVID's coming, right? I just bought an expensive boat. Sleeps like
Bought a
8
boat
people.
before COVID.
Month before, 2 months
my
before
gosh.
COVID
Just
hits,
when I
buy
thought
a
this
boat.
story couldn't get any more interesting.
So here I am, living on my boat, and life is good. But prior to that, so I buy the boat in January. February, I'm skiing, and I blow out my knee, tore ACL, tore meniscus. You know, it was a wipeout. And so I was going to go to this like free seminar 5 days after I blow out my knee. So I haven't showered in 5 days. I have my long dreadlocks. I smell. I have 5 days and I'm wearing
You've had the dreads for a long
25
time,
years,
too.
25 years.
Long time. I
So-
remember that.
I'm wearing sweats because they're the only pants that go over my leg. I'm on crutches. I stink, and I'm wearing flip-flops because I can't tie my shoes. And I walk into this, everyone's wearing a business suit.
Oh, goodness.
And I sit down in the first row, and I forget to bring a notebook. I forget to bring a notebook
Sticking
to take
out like
notes.
a sore thumb.
And I'm sitting there, and this guy that's putting it on is getting pissed because I'm sitting there not taking notes, and he's like, motherfucker probably came here looking for a job. And it turns out that I introduced myself afterwards, and we ended up having a great friendship. And he was somebody who was, very influential. He's been on the cover of magazines, what have you, and so in the world of business coaching and wealth and all that, he's somebody. He's a somebody. And we have this friendship, and I'm living on my boat. He's like, "Damn, look at you." He's like, I'm hustling, I'm working, and I don't have the freedom you'd have. I go, I don't know why.
Time.
Yeah, right. So he goes, "Why don't you get into helping people have your life? Teach them how to do it." I go, "You know what? I just saw what was valuable. I live my values, and I see what's important, and and that's how I live." And he goes, "Well, I'm sure people would like to get into that." And so I start coaching people. And I'm like, okay, you know what? This is awesome, but I'm not reaching enough people. And ultimately, what's the goal in life? Universally, is people want, freedom, happiness, and wealth. But the truth is, you just want to live the life you want.
True.
Take the time and decide what that is. Yeah. Design that life. And then create it. But if you don't design it, you're never going to create it.
Yeah.
You can't design a shirt or a dress.
Yeah.
You can't create it if you didn't design it.
But you also have to take that step
Yes.
outside of your comfort zone to start creating to begin with.
You learn to live outside your comfort zone.
There you go.
That is, there's no comfort in your comfort zone. Let's just call that your regret zone. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
If you live there, you will live with regret.
Totally.
And I refuse to live nor die with regret. So comfort zone is your regret zone.
100%.
I would rather try and fail because there's no failing. It's just a lesson. You know what? Listen, I've lost money, right? You know what? I've learned lessons. Yeah. It was just more of a tuition I cared to pay. I just look at everything as a failure as going, wow, that tuition was expensive. But I learned a lesson.
Have you ever bombed live at a show?
Oh, my God.
Rock shows that didn't go so sweet?
Okay, yeah. So we're at a show, and for some reason they
Shout out to the Burlington. Sorry.
And at the Burley forever. They go,
So we're doing a 4 p.m. show on a Sunday in a bar.
Okay.
Lizard's Liquid Lounge.
Lizards Lounge, no way!
So we're gonna
Shout
do-
out to Girly Pants. Shout out to Sabrine Carter doing their annual birthday party. That's speaking of birthday party celebrations. Girly Pants, up until she did Nirvana at the Burlington this year, she was doing Lizards Lounge, an annual for her birthday. She did Weezer, Coldplay.
Wow.
And now this year she did Nirvana. Excellent place, but love Lizards Lounge. Back in the old Treehouse days, shout out Bear. Lizard Lounge was like a block away from the old recording studio.
Oh,
So
okay.
we would go in there, hang out at the old haunt, and super cool spot.
You got to love a
Mad
place
love.
where the dog actually has the bar stool too.
That's it.
So we're gonna play Lizards. They say it's a 4 o'clock show. I get there at 3, and I go and have a drink in the back, and have a second, and then have a third,
Oh boy.
and have a fourth.
Sounds
We
like
don't
a
go
real
on till
snake.
7. I'm sitting back there drinking for 4 hours. I'm drunk.
Yeah.
So at one point, I'm playing the bass. Now, there's like 12 of us in this band, and everyone's kind of giving me that look. And I'm playing, and I'm thinking, something sounds really familiar. The song I should have been playing sounded really familiar. The other 11 were playing one song. I'm playing a completely different song. Like, I looked at the song sheet, and I picked the wrong song, and I'm like, something sounds really familiar. And they're staring at me. And I'm like, oh, crap. And I realize that what I'm doing, it gets better. Now's my time to sing and play.
Oh man.
I forget the words. So what do? I trust the band, right? We're going to drop down to a vamp. I trust the band. I just kicked the microphone over. That was my best move at that
go.
time. I forgot the words. I kicked the microphone over, just stepped back and kept playing.
Hey man, that's all it takes sometimes is 1 second of glory, especially when it's Lizard Lounge, a punk rock pub of miraculous vibes.
So you're familiar. You've played there. Okay, I go back into the corner after that fiasco, and I'm just like going to play guitar. And they shove me where the bathroom is, and every time
that's
somebody
funny.
opens the door, it's bam, bam. You know, like I'm
God.
getting hit by the door. I'm like, this is the price I'm paying. So it was like the worst show ever, right?
that's
Like
funny.
I've screwed up everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to the end of the bar and have a drink. I'm sitting back there.
there are no rules.
And this woman comes up to me. She goes, "You were awesome."
There you go.
And I'm like, you know what? My day
What
just
do you
got
know?
a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Like it was just one of those.
awesome.
We all have off nights.
True.
It happens. It
Yeah.
happens. And I do stand up comedy.
Do you? You do
I
stand
do.
up too?
I do stand up.
Okay.
And some nights I'm on.
Okay.
Like I've performed at Second City.
Okay.
I've rocked it. Like I like pushing the envelope. I love joking about race.
Uh-huh.
Like you have to laugh.
You ever been to Nick's Beer Garden
Where's that?
in Wicker Park? I think they do an open mic night.
Oh,
there.
there's a lot of
also
open mics.
Cole,
I've been
Cole's
to Nick's.
Bar.
I've been
Yeah.
to Nick's, yes.
Cole's Bar does comedy
So
sometimes.
I, one night, this is maybe 6 months ago,
Yeah.
I'm like, I heard about this open mic, and I'm like, I've got no material written. I think I'll go and just wing it. Let's see if I could wing it.
Why not?
Right, because that's going to work.
Yeah.
I didn't get a single laugh. I mean, I bombed. These people are booing me. I get off stage, and I'm sitting there looking, and I'm like, you know what I need to do right now? I need to get back on that stage. Like, I know I bombed, I need to get back.
If you have never been booed, you haven't done anything.
You know,
Bob Dylan
Yeah.
quote of a lifetime.
Here's the thing. If you don't have haters, because you haven't done anything that makes a difference. Like, you have done nothing if there aren't people that hate you. Now, I like to think I'm a nice guy. And I'm like, why would somebody hate me? I'm just trying to help people. But there's people who will hate
Yeah.
people are trying to help people.
Yeah.
Right? And that's not a reflection of me. That's a reflection of them.
Yeah.
And so every once in a while, I'll get a hate letter, hate email,
Yeah.
hate comment, hate message. I get them.
Yeah.
You know, and I think to myself, I must be doing something. Move on. When I taught business course, I would say to everybody, now they all are automotive repair shop owners.
Okay.
It was very niche. And I said, everyone do me a favor and think of one customer. One of your customers right now. Think of one. And they think of one. And then I'd go to the one guy, anybody. I'd pick them. I go, why are you thinking of the worst customer you have right now? And they go, how'd you know? Because I know. I go, you have 1,000 great customers.
Yeah.
Why are you focusing on the worst?
Yeah.
Because we all focus on, you can have 10 messages that say you're wonderful, 100. You get one that calls you an a-hole, we can't let it go.
Yeah.
And I look at them now and go, yes,
Yeah.
I must
That's
be doing
tough.
something.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. But that is a tough thing to look at. To take a look at honestly,
Well-
because criticism is not easy for some.
It's-
and putting yourself out there at all is already
somebody else's, it's the lens they see life through, not me.
true.
Like I sleep at night. Like, I can hold my head up. So if somebody hates me, that's the lens they see life through.
Damn.
They probably also hate their dog. Like that. So I can't.
It's tough because it's so true,
Yeah.
But then also to know that that person doesn't want to be there either.
Yeah.
They're struggling. They don't
Right.
want to know.
And I don't hate on them.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
first of all, I must be doing something. I must be showing up if somebody
Yeah.
hates me.
Yeah.
And I'm not just
Selling
being a
out
people pleaser or
shows.
something like that. And then I think to myself, well, at least they're watching me, and maybe I'll rub off on them.
There you go.
Like, I look at that like I don't run from that.
Yeah. That's huge.
Why would I? So that but it takes a while to get there. It takes a long time. You know what it really takes? It just takes believing in yourself.
Yeah.
People don't believe in themselves.
Yeah.
People believe in their past. And how you see your past is, the meaning you give it, like we talked about. People don't believe in their future.
Yeah.
But the truth is, when you can learn to believe in your future, then you're really living.
That's it.
Nobody believes in their future like, oh, in the future, I'm just going to be a really shitty person.
Yeah.
Everything's going to fail for me.
Yeah.
That's not, people could say that, but that's not believing in your future. When you believe in your future, every Olympic athlete that's ever won a gold medal has visualized themselves on that podium when they were 12 years old.
Yeah.
How many times you're in the playground, you're like, 3, 2, 1. Like you're
Yep.
visualizing, you're hitting the winning basket. Because when you think about yourself in the future, you're winning. When you think about your past, not so much. Not a lot of winning back there.
Yeah.
But that's all people believe in.
Yeah.
They don't believe there's a future.
Why do you think they carry so much weight in the past when there is always the now moment?
Because they didn't take the now moment's present. All right, if there was a dog here and you asked a dog, hey, dog, what time is it? And the dog could talk. Mm-hmm. You know what the dog would say? Now. Now. What? Now.
Time is now.
The time is now. Mm-hmm. There's only 3 times.
Yeah.
The past, now, and the future.
Yeah.
Is how you see the past, and I've told you how I see my past. Wonderful.
Yeah.
The present is staying present. That's the biggest gift you can give somebody.
100%.
The future is believing in yourself.
Yeah. And that's something you can choose to look forward to. You know, being an artist myself and struggling with addictions for way longer than I'd like to admit, I myself was very hard on myself and kept myself in a stuck point or a pattern of disbelief and sabotage for a long time. But what I did have, even though I was struggling, was parents that did give me the gift of following my dream, of telling me, you know, Michael, we want you to go out and create, be what you want to be in this world. And that probably, even though I struggled, you know, with the obsession I fell into and the addiction I fell into, it was a gift, you know, to be able to still set my own ground, go and blaze my own trail, even though it was obscure and kind of crazy, you know. Mm-hmm. But to this day, I'm very grateful that I've had parents that said, you know what, if you have a dream, if you have a vision, go for it. And so that's why doing this, to me, being able to hold space at all for any artists and be able to create and pick, you know, create a space where we can, you know, one, talk shop, but also create something together is it's magic, because that's what it
Absolutely.
is. It's rock and roll magic.
Absolutely.
All the way through.
My parents were just the opposite.
Yeah.
My dad, when I worked at the towel factory, and I said, this job sucks. I'm quitting. Don't quit. It's a safe job. Safe? You know, they tore it down. Like, there's nothing safe. I'm making $3.25 an hour. Yeah. And I thought, if he says go left, I go right.
There you go.
Like, I see his life, and I loved my father, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But he lived every day of his life in fear. Never went after his dream. And I'm like, if he's going left, I'm going right. Mm-hmm. My mom, she had her own beliefs. She had her own demons, her own everything like that. Yeah. But like I said, I never went to college, but it was never even a conversation. Like, it wasn't even close to being a conversation. Yeah. It was just a foregone conclusion that I'm a loser. Yeah. And my dad started calling me Skid, because it was short for Skid Row. Yep. Because it's like, you're going to be on Skid Row. You know, like, that's what my parents
you
thought
heard
of
that
me.
one first on Full Self Sesh.
Skid.
Steve. Oh, man, I'm going to start calling you that.
You know what the crazy part is?
That's punk rock.
My boat, the name of my boat is Eccentric Row, but it's EK.
Oh, man.
And I took my dad, before he died, I took my dad to my boat. I go, see the name? He goes, yeah. I go, you know, that was motivated by you calling me Skid. He goes,
that's beautiful.
But the truth was, he wasn't far off. Like, I wasn't on a great path.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't like a far stretch. However, no parent should do that. Yeah. It doesn't help when they're coming down and going, hey, Skid, well, I'm already not doing well. Yeah. You know, like, truly, it's not helping.
No.
But I remember when I got married, the boss I worked for, the Hungarian guy, Steve Hages, my mom had come up to him at my wedding, and she said, you know, I really want to thank you for turning me into who I am. You know, knowing that my parents, you know, that it was he was rough. He was mean. Like, he was tough as nails. Okay. And he never gave me a minute's peace. And it was funny at his funeral, and his widow said to me, she goes, he was so hard. I go, I know. But I also went to his house on holidays.
Yeah.
I would go to his cottage on weekends. I mean, I did love him. Mm-hmm. He was just really hard on me. Yeah. And she goes, he had over 300 employees in his whole time in being in business. And he only treated you that way, nobody else. And I said, yeah, I noticed he never harassed. She goes, because he saw so much in you.
Damn.
Like he saw you as like his son. Mm-hmm. So he wanted me to be the best. Mm-hmm. Like he had a hell of a temper. Yeah. And the thing was, that doesn't bother me. That wasn't, I never shied away from, you could have a temper. I didn't go cower away. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, I'm tougher than him. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't worry about anything like that.
Yeah.
I've never worried about getting into a fight.
Okay.
Like the physical thing, like that was never, and like,
because you were wrestling in the back alleys, just
I fought with my brothers daily.
Okay.
Like back, it amazed me having kids. The kids today don't fight because I used to pound my brothers.
Yeah.
So Christmas Eve, I'm 16. My brother Mike is 20. Jay is 17. Mike and I get into it, and I hit him in the head with a frying pan. He broke my nose. Like we get into it. We would battle.
Damn.
So I go to the hospital, broken nose. Jay comes home, sees all the blood, goes, what happened? And my mom goes, Mike broke Steve's nose. And my brother Jay just pounds him.
Damn. Right away, huh?
Right away. Like no questions asked.
Wow.
So we fought all the time.
Yeah.
Like, so I was never,
yeah,
like, I don't care if you got a temper. I don't back down. So that didn't bother me. Eventually I took karate in my 30s, and that was the best thing I ever did.
In your 30s, okay.
It taught me to walk away.
Okay.
It taught me not to fight. Like I remember the first time I said to a guy, man, you ever use karate? Because I'm white belt. He's like, every day. I'm like, every day? What neighborhood do you live in?
Yeah, right.
And I'd learned that it gives you the confidence to walk away. Like, if you never throw a punch, be thankful.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a fight
as an adult?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I not my proudest moments.
No.
One, I was the instigator.
Okay.
Man, I felt like I was maybe 35, 36 years old. We were out go-kart racing. One of my vendors takes me go-kart racing. And there's 4 races. I come in second in the first 3. I'm leading in points, but I haven't won the race.
Oh, gosh.
This is competitive, Steve, back then. It's the 4th race, and I'm winning. I'm going to cross the track line first. Dude bumps me from behind. I hit the wall. He passes me. I come in second.
Damn.
I win on points.
Okay.
I'm the winner of the night, but I didn't finish first. After the race, I pound this dude.
Damn.
And
just
I'm
no word or anything. You just went up to him.
I just went and just started wailing on him.
Whew.
And this was, I was younger than that. I was probably early 30s because it was pre-karate. And
go-karts can do that to you.
it was,
Truly.
you know what, I used to be that. I mean, I'm so far from that person today.
Yeah. The competitive streak, though, when you were very serious about it at an emotional level.
Totally.
I get it.
And then I actually, I was the one with, like, do you remember Indian Scouts?
Yep.
So
I just
do you
brought
remember,
my Wolf Scout picture today put it up on the wall.
do you remember the camp outs?
Yep.
The dads would all get drunk, right?
100%. Yeah.
I would never. Because there's a time and place for everything. This isn't a time or the place. So all the dads are drinking. They're drunk. The kids, it's Indian Princess. My daughter's 5 years old. And the neighbor's kid is in, we were in Lake Long Lodge, and
Shout out. Love that place.
I'm watching TV, and the two girls are sleeping, and the one dad, he's playing poker. It's midnight. There's a knock on the door, and they got kicked out of everywhere.
Oh, shit.
And they go, "We want to use your room to play poker." You know, it's time you guys go to bed. Like, isn't that a, like this is just this is a sign to go to bed? And one of the dads, like, lunges at me because I'm not going to let him in my room. And we're like, now we're going at it. And they break us up. And I go,
The kids see it?
What?
The kids see it?
No kids saw
This
it.
is after hours.
This is midnight, 1 a.m. And I'm like, I'm going to call security. Like, this is, so they scurry. And then my one neighbor comes back. Now, I live with these people. One dude lives next door. In fact, 2 doors, like 4 of them are on my block.
Wow.
And this guy comes back and knocks and goes, "Steve, I was thinking." I said, "No, you weren't. Because if you're thinking, you would have never knocked the first time. And you certainly would have knocked the second time.
Yeah.
You need to go to bed.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this tomorrow." And that was it.
There you go.
And
it's settled.
And I did see the guy that I got into a scuffle with later on because
Okay.
his son's playing baseball, my kids are playing baseball, and I come up to him and go, "Hey, I want to talk to you about that incident." And he kind of gets defensive. I go, "Stop." I go, "What I'm going to say, it's in the past.
Yeah.
I've let it go. I hope you've let it go.
Cool.
Like, it was just a bad decision fueled by alcohol."
Yep.
And he's like, "Cool." It's just, you have to confront that.
Yep.
You always have to. You can't just let it ride.
Yeah.
And so,
Or just leave it unspoken. Sometimes those unspoken things cause resentments to just pile
Totally,
up. And then the more
totally.
time that goes into a
You
resentment
just need-
really
yeah.
destroys people's relationships.
so you need to, I brought it up. And, the guy that I punched, I actually brought it up. Like, I ran into him a couple weeks later. And I said, "Hey, listen, I want to talk to you. I was completely out of line."
Damn.
Like, we had a conversation. And after, we good.
Yeah.
Do you? And he's like, "Yeah, you know what? I appreciate that you came up to me and talked."
Yeah.
And I was just such an ass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't believe I did that. That was the last time. Today, I'd rather buy the guy a drink
Yeah.
than punch him. I don't have the energy for that. I don't have the desire, and it's not who I am.
No.
I can look at my stages of life and see where I'm at.
Yeah.
And that was, you're talking, I'm 60. So, that's 25, almost 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I think I've changed a little bit.
100%. Well, this has been a real honor, Steve. Thank you so much for
This has
sitting
been a
down
blast.
and chopping this up with me. Really appreciate everything that you're doing, how you're doing it.
Thank you.
E Auto to, your business, to your entrepreneurship, and to how you're coaching people. And it's just overall an inspiration. And
Oh, thank you.
I really love seeing
I
it.
love what you're doing here.
Well, thank you.
This is awesome.
Thank you so much. Well, right about this time, Chicago, we'll break away and we'll rock out, and then we'll come back for the roundup. But until then, thanks everyone for tuning in. Oh, that's the thing. Before we do go to rock and roll, links for your podcast. Where can people find your podcast? Is it out and about right now?
Spotify.
Cool.
You just look up
Life by Design.
Life by Design.
Life by Design. There you go.
Apple, on Amazon.
That's it. And we
Life
got the
by
links
Design.
below too. Chicago, check it out. Until a little bit here, everyone, peace, love,
Rock and roll.
always.
Always.
Woo! prepping for the apocalypse, getting the buckets of food, and
Oh my God, yeah, exactly. I'm like, I want no part of that.
What do you think about the 2012 end of the world with the Mayan calendar? Did you read into that at all? Did you think that was ending at all, or?
No, here's one thing I know for certain about the end of the world. Never predict it. Because if you're right, nobody congratulates you. And if you're wrong, everyone makes fun of you.
Yeah.
Every day is a gift. Every single day in life is a gift. And if the gift ends tomorrow, then it ends tomorrow.
Yeah.
But, so why would you prepare for, like, the doomsday?
Especially when it doesn't happen. Because, like, let's be honest, I mean, we're in 2025. There has been a few times we've thought the world was going to end, and it hasn't.
The world's been ending for thousands of years. And it will remain ending for thousands of years. I don't get it. I just don't.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you worry about something you have no control over? Mm-hmm. I'll figure it out when it ends. I'll just figure it out. I find myself saying a lot, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. I like it.
I'll figure it out. I'll be fine.
Yeah. Huge one for me this year has been, it is what it is. Now what? It's the now what. It's all about the now what.
Now what?
It's that. That is where you make the change. That is where you get on stage. That is where, you fuck up, but you get back up and try again.
That's your choices in life.
Yeah.
You could get up and keep going, or you can curl up in the ball and climb under the desk.
Yep.
That's your two options.
Yep.
I'll choose trying again every single time.
100%.
Can you imagine living or dying with regret?
No.
I can live with failure. I can die with failure. But I can't live and die with regret.
Can't get that back. It's.
You know what? I want to keep going.
Yeah.
I just want to keep going.
That's the thing. You can't change anything that's happened, but you can start in the here, start in the present to do something differently.
So
That's.
a guy explained it to me like this. He said, imagine you walk into an art gallery and you are standing in the room and you look at all the art on the wall and you hate it. It's just, you hate this art. You want to rip it off the wall.
That's how I felt about the Beatles when I was 13. I didn't understand it yet. All I thought was, it's only the Melvins, only Nirvana, only, this noisy, grungy stuff is at the highest volume imaginable.
Right. Well, that you're 13. Yeah. He said, instead of fighting and saying how awful it is, walk out of the room. Just find a new room in the gallery.
Yep.
Maybe like that art.
Damn.
Why would you spend your energy and your time hating and trying to change what's already there?
Yeah.
Walk out of the room.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I was growing up, I was not a big Beatles fan.
Yeah.
I just wasn't. I loved Hendrix.
Good for you admitting that. A lot of people won't be honest about, admitting they don't like the Beatles.
I wasn't a big Beatles fan. I've learned to appreciate them.
Yeah.
John Lennon in real life was probably a huge asshole.
Yeah.
And
that ego was 100% there.
The last 20 years of his life.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Some of the things. Paul McCartney just wants to keep playing music. This guy will just keep playing 3.5 minute beats for the rest of his life. I think George Harrison, if I had to say there's my favorite, like his music, he was just out there. And then
it just occurred to me not too long ago, George was the one that pushed to go to India and like even practice like some of that experimental music. And
I could totally
he was
see
on the
that.
cutting edge.
And
Some of
then-
the stuff that happened on those
And
records.
then Ringo was just Ringo.
Yeah,
But who wouldn't want to be Ringo today?
Ringo's the best.
You're
Such
just
a good
like,
drummer.
I'm good enough to be somebody,
Yeah,
and I'll just hang out with Ben Harper.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like, sure,
yeah,
you're Ringo Starr.
for sure. What's your favorite Beatles record?
Probably the White Album.
White Album.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
an easy one.
Well, it's such a cluster fuck of different sounds and genres all meshed into one. They really did not hold back at all.
no.
It was just off the rails through and through, you know?
They were just the right band at the right time.
Yeah.
You know, just playing the right music.
Yeah.
But there was so much good music back then.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a big Stones fan.
Totally.
Love the Who.
Yeah. The Who are great.
Oh my
Who are
gosh!
fantastic.
I
Talk about
Energy. That's
a band that just had so much energy. Watching their YouTube live performances now, you can't keep up. It's electric.
I loved that they would go on tour and come back broke and in the hole because they would all smash their instruments trying to outdo each other. And they just burned through money.
Yeah.
And then they'd have to come up with a new album. And then when they got together and said, okay, let's work on music, everyone said, yeah, okay, and walked out of the room and left Pete Townsend sitting there. And he's like, well, I guess I'm writing music.
Amazing.
Oh, there's a guy that comes in the shop. And so Townsend and Daltrey went to school together. Daltrey was a year older.
Wow. Okay.
And they went to grade school together. They knew each other. Townsend was always afraid of Daltrey. Daltrey's a little on the rough side. This guy that comes into shop also went to school with them. Also was a musician. He's like, I used to rock out with them all the time. Wow. He's like, they're old friends of mine. Mm-hmm. And he's like, they just stuck to it, and I went and got a job. Mm-hmm. And he talks about
That's
them
the
like
difference.
they're just. It's just so interesting. And he said they all would kind of shit on Townsend. Like they would just dump on him.
That's funny.
To like, first of all, I think Quadrophenia is such a good movie. And all of that was Townsend.
Yeah.
All of the rock operas.
Yeah.
Daltrey would just show up and sing.
Which entertaining though. Oh,
And-
my gosh,
God.
what an entertainer!
And the story
just,
of how Keith Moon joined the band. Do you ever hear the story?
no.
Keith Moon's 16 years old, and they're doing a show. They're not. I mean, they're the Who, but they're not the Who.
Yeah.
Right? They're still playing bars.
Yeah.
They're starting to get a little traction. And he gets to the front and he keeps screaming at Daltrey, I'm better than him. Like, he won't shut up. In the first, like, he's right, I'm better than him. I'm better than him. And
he's
you're like,
calling
holy
it out.
fuck.
Yeah.
So at intermission, they're finally like, the only way we're going to get this guy to shut up is, do you mind if he sits behind the drums? That's what they said to the drummer, whoever the drummer was. They're like, otherwise this guy will never shut up.
Yeah.
So they let him sit behind the drums and he never leaves.
I had no idea. That is an amazing story. That's how fucking
He just kept
Keith
screaming
Moon,
at them until
oh
they
my
gave him
gosh.
a chance.
Wow.
Yeah.
That one of
I
the
love
best
watching
drummers.
documentaries of music. Do you ever watch It Might Get Loud?
Yeah. Amazing.
3 different approaches to Jack White and,
Yeah.
and Jimmy Page
Yep.
and Bono, The Edge. I mean, The Edge
Yeah.
drew the short straw.
Yeah. No, Jack White is prolific. Just amazing.
There was
you know?
you ever watch Elvis Costello's Spectacle?
I have not. No. To be honest, I have not yet totally dove into Costello. I've dabbled here and there, but I've never had my, full discography the same I do with Floyd,
Sure.
Stones.
So he started a talk show called Spectacle. It was on for 2
Spectacle.
years,
Okay.
2007, 2008. and he just wanted to interview people that he thought were fascinating in music.
Okay.
And then they jam. And they weren't selling albums. They weren't selling books.
Yeah.
And he interviewed John Prine.
That's amazing.
He's
what a
like,
great
John
songwriter.
Prine, you were just
Damn.
such an influence over me. He interviewed Bill Clinton.
Wow. Bill Clinton, the president?
The president.
The
He interviewed him
president
and
of
Chicago. They talked about music. And that was it.
That's
and
so
Clinton talked
rad.
about how
Wow.
his mom was so supportive in his music.
That's great.
And he brought Bono and The Edge, and they said they were completely terrified to ever play with anybody else because they know nothing about music and they can only play their own. And they ran into Jagger and Richards.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's jam. They're like, ah!
That's amazing. I had no idea he did that.
So the show is really good.
Yeah.
It's all interview and then a little bit of jam.
Cool.
And he interviewed the police,
Cool.
and he said, you know, do you guys really dislike each other? They're like, we completely hate each other. I can't wait to never see these fuckers again in my life. And he tells a story. This is a great story. I'm ruining everything because you watch it, but here he is in the height of his career. Right, it's the 80s or whatever, you know. And
Hair metal's big still.
What's that?
Hair metal's still big, still in.
Yeah, right. But
Cool.
Costello's in his thing, right?
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
in England, and he walks in a restaurant at lunchtime to get lunch, and there's only one other patron in the room, and it's Robert Plant. And Elvis Costello is looking at Robert Plant, and they're looking back at each other, and they never acknowledged the other one's existence because they're both so arrogant because they're at their height of careers. Like, and Elvis Costello's like, God, was I an ass? I should have been sitting at the table with him. Like, I expected him to walk up to me.
Yeah.
And he, you know, this and that. And it's just fascinating to hear these stories.
Truly. Man. Who would you have, if you had to pick out of the two singer-songwriters, Costello or Plant? What would it be?
Plant. I've seen Plant a few
100%.
times.
Yeah.
That, you know what I love about Robert Plant today? He's doing exactly what he wants to do. Like
Yeah.
he's so, the blues had such an influence on him.
Yeah.
And not that he's doing blues, but like his music today.
Yeah.
I've seen him a couple times in the last probably 10 years. I've seen him 2-3 times.
Yeah.
Love the
Sings
music
like
he's
the
putting out.
angels, man. His voice is something out of this universe.
Yeah,
couldn't-
Elvis Costello had his heyday, and then kind of drifted off into whatever he does.
Would it be somewhat correct to say Costello's a little gimmicky?
Yeah,
A little
totally.
bit?
Yeah.
And that, yeah. Like,
You know what? I saw him
hate at all, but, noticed.
I saw him about 15 years ago.
Okay.
I'm like, he was going to do a solo show. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. It might have been the worst show I've ever seen in my life.
Damn.
He brought a chair out like this, and he brought a guitar. He didn't say anything, and he just played.
Okay. That's it?
That's it.
No interaction?
No stories, no anything. I'm like, when do I leave? Is he going to play another song?
Damn.
It's just, I don't normally leave. Like,
Yeah.
there was a couple concerts that was one of them I left before he was done.
Wow.
The other concert that I left, and I hate to admit it, I'm an awful person for admitting it, Bob Dylan.
You heard it here. No, Bob Dylan, Bobby D. The man, the myth, the
Dylan
legend.
fan. I'm a huge
Yeah.
Dylan fan. Yeah, but it was probably the last time he came through Chicago.
Okay.
And it was kind of that where he was doing a lounge act,
Okay.
where he was like tan pants, blue sport coat, and the three guys were doing tan sport coat, blue pants, like the opposite.
Yeah.
And he doesn't play guitar anymore.
Okay.
And it was the third song. and I didn't know what the first two were. Not that I don't know Dylan songs. I couldn't distinguish what the first two were. We're on the third song. I have no clue. And it turns out that it's Blind Willie McTell. Blind Willie McTell, I mean. And I'm like, but it took me to the second verse
Okay.
to tell. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this is brutal. I don't know how much more I could take.
Doesn't sound at all like bringing it all back home. Not even close, huh?
Not even close. So, you know, and I'm like, I'm out.
Dang. That's an artist that just the breath love just changes Dylan has had, and the textures to the
totally.
albums are just, the saga is
So-
amazing.
Wait, I got to share this story. The brush with fame. I'm 20 years old. It's 1985.
Yeah.
I'm at the Aragon Ballroom, and my buddy Tommy, whose dad works for Jam Productions.
Shout out to Aragon. Yep. Saw a trio there one too many times.
So we go backstage because, you know, we had a pass.
Yep.
And there's like all this, there's probably 8 cases of beer stacked up.
As there should be.
So Tommy decides maybe we should take one. We're just going to take a case of beer and walk out.
Okay.
We get 2 steps, and these bouncers grab us. Where are you going with that? And Tommy goes, in here, and he points to a door. Bouncer opens the door. It's Stevie Ray Vaughan. And Bouncer goes, hey, did you tell these guys to bring you a case of beer? He goes, yeah. Where you been? Get in here with a case of beer. We walk in. They shut the door. He goes, you trying to steal my beer? Yeah. That your beer? Yeah. I saved you from an ass kicking. Appreciate that. He goes, I tell you the truth, if it's your beer and the tables were turned, I'd probably steal it. I said, I really appreciate your honesty. He goes, would you like a cold one? Yeah, I mean, we're stealing warm ones. I really like a cold one. We sat there from about 11 o'clock at night to maybe 6 in the morning. Drinking beer. He had a guitar in his hand the whole time, just playing. We just talked for like 7 hours.
No kidding.
He had a
wild.
sandwich spread and just beer.
my
We were eating a
gosh.
sandwich, smoking some pot, 20 years old, and he's just playing guitar.
What a
the entire
life-changing
time.
experience. That's so cool that a rock star, at that caliber, not that it should matter at all, but to be that welcoming to
He was
just people like invite you guys in and
I'd heard when Buddy Guy opened his bar, he's trying to use his, like, hey, everyone, he's trying to,
yeah.
he laid out his money. Nobody showed up except Steve Ray Vaughan. And he goes, I'll play for free just to get you going. Now, you probably don't know who Bob Stroger is.
I don't know.
Okay. Bob Stroger is 95 years old. He's considered the greatest blues bassist of all time.
Okay.
Happens to be a friend of mine. He's been on every album. Like, he's been on Stones. He's been on Zeppelin's album. But he's a blues.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you look him up. And I said to him, who was the greatest musician you ever played with? And he goes, Stevie Ray Vaughan, without a doubt. He goes, better than Clapton. He's played with them all.
Yeah. Wow.
And when B.B. King died and they did the tribute to B.B. King at Blues Fest, it was Bob Stroger that did the tribute.
Yeah.
So he'd been to the shop. He'd been to an art show. He's a friend of mine. He's 95.
Wow. Still kicking.
Still touring. He started playing in 1939.
Whole different world.
Lot of
Whole
music.
different world. Yeah.
He tells the greatest stories about Coco Taylor just taking out her teeth and putting them on the table. It's like, get your teeth off the table.
That's amazing.
The craziest part is I met him where his son, Bobby Jr., is delivering auto parts to the shop. And I happen to have a couple guitars there. He goes, My dad knows a little bit about guitar, but he's bigger on bass. I'm thinking this Bobby Jr.'s quite a bit older than me. I'm like, wow, you play? He goes, no, I just chase girls, but my dad always played. He goes, maybe you heard of him. Yeah, maybe. What's your dad's name? He goes, Bob Stroger. I go, your dad is Bob Stroger. Because I knew who he was. I loved the blues.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. Yeah. And he brought his dad to a show. Wow. An art show. I'm like, holy shit.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh.
Like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
So then I have to ask him like all these things. And he said to me, he goes, if you ever want to bring a guitar and come to my house, I live on the south side, we'll jam, we'll take a video, I'll sign a guitar for you.
Nuts.
And I'm like, I got to do that.
Yeah.
One of these days I will.
Okay. Well,
One of these days I'll
let
bring
me
a
know when you
guitar.
do. That's wild. What are the chances?
Yeah, no kidding.
My
Bob
goodness.
Stroger. He's played with everybody.
Yeah. Amazing.
Outlived them all.
Yeah. Well, wonderful. I love that we were able to just do that composition together. That was fun. That was jazz.
Fun.
That
I
was.
have not played in over a year.
And what did we do? Just came up with it on the spot.
I just
Like that. It's another jingle for E Auto. There you go.
That'll be the
Just
intro music.
for the holiday season.
That was totally holiday music.
It was. We were bopping, you know?
Oh, funny.
I do love asking, artists that come on to the show, people I do have come through, with someone like you who has, really worked at your craft and really pushed, yourself and the ones around you to the extra, the extra step. What is it, you would suggest, for artists out there, people that are wanting to get started, wanting to get creative, wanting to jump in, but they haven't yet, taken that first step? Do you have any tips, suggestions you'd throw their way?
Yeah, so people, when they say, I don't know if I'm ready, I don't feel ready. Ready's not a feeling. You're never going to feel ready because ready's not a feeling. What you're feeling is fear. You know what? Get over your fear. You've heard people, I don't feel ready.
Yep.
It's not a feeling. Ready is no more a feeling than the color of red.
Mm-hmm.
Or the color green or the number 7.
Yeah. True.
So you're never going to feel it.
No.
What you're feeling is fear.
Yeah.
Don't let the fear stop you.
Yeah. Don't let the fear stop you. Yeah. Don't let the fear stop you.
Man, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Eck of Eck Auto, musician, author, all the good stuff. Steve's truly, I couldn't have said it best. I love that advice. That's so well said. I do have to ask as well, just one more thing before we wrap up. And thanks everyone for tuning in. Appreciate you guys so much. Mad love, Chicago. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. But shout out to Metal Marine. We got to ask, Steve, is tone real?
Is Toad real?
Tone.
Is tone?
Is tone real? In the music industry, there is always the talk of that right tone, that fire tone, that, ooh, you can't get it anywhere else because, it's just got that tone. What's your take?
That's above my pay scale. That's far above my pay scale.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, you heard it here. Y'all, thanks for tuning in. Tone, it might be real. It might not be. We'll never know because all you have to do is keep creating, keep rocking. You know it. Thank y'all for tuning in. And until next time, peace.
Love.
Rock and roll, Chicago. Happy holidays.
Have a good night.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Thank you.